Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Great British Mickey Waffle. My name's Peter, but I'm not the only waffler on this show. Oh, no. We have Ben, Claire, and Jill. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi there.
Ready for a good waffle?
Oh, yes. Always.
Yes.
Oh,
Very
great.
excited.
Fantastic. So, who are we sharing a waffle with today? He has interviewed the likes of Gary C. and Adam Hatton and a host of other guests who just want to chat about Disney and love the magic. His interviews and shows have covered subjects from Disney books to Disney cruises, as well as the parks. It's Andy Goulding from the most magical podcast on earth. Hi, Andy.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me.
How are
on this
you?
Waffle.
Are you okay, dude?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Yeah, good. Thanks.
So, Andy, are you ready to face the famous, or is that infamous, quick fire questions?
I don't think I'll ever be ready. So the answer is
Never.
yes. I'm prepared. Not ready, but
Okay.
prepared.
We're just going straight in. We're not going to hold back at all. So
Be gentle.
Oh, I don't know about that. Anyway, I'll start then. Favorite park?
Favorite park? Animal Kingdom. Do you want to know why?
yes.
Yeah,
I
good. Yes.
just feel like I can get lost in Animal Kingdom. Although saying that, my favourite parks change all the time. But it's been so long since I've been to any parks now. I think I'm just kind of forgetting what they're like.
Any park is a favourite park at the moment.
Exactly. Yeah.
Question 2. Can you give us an attraction that you hate?
Oh, Claire, that is a terrible, terrible thing to ask. You can't really hate anything, but I can have at least favourite. And people are going to hate me for saying this, but Figment, Journey into Imagination. I know.
Eject him from the stream, Ben.
I'm waiting for the big hook to come across the screen and drag me off. Sorry, Ben.
That's all right. So, question 3: most overrated snack.
Well, this has changed. But I mean, my first few visits to Walt Disney World, this was like my favorite snack. I had to have this snack. I had to have my photograph with this snack. It was an icon. And over the 21 years that I've been, the most overrated snack is the turkey leg. Turkey leg. You can even fool yourself into thinking, great protein. Got me like high protein snack. No, it's just a bone with like oil on it. It's just horrible. And all those little strands
as
that
well.
you get. Yeah.
It's just horrid.
I think I realised
turkeys.
that the only reason I liked the turkey leg in the first place was because of the photograph. I think once I've had the photograph, I really don't like the taste. I don't eat it.
So Henry VIII style with the big.
yeah.
I've never ever been tempted by one.
No.
Well,
Never
save
ever
yourself, Peter.
wanted to eat one. No, never.
Don't. Not even for an Instagram picture.
Yeah. So my question is favorite WDW transportation mode.
Am I allowed the people mover? I know it's an attraction.
Oh, go on then. Yeah.
Okay, the people mover. Definitely the people mover.
Why?
I love the people. It's just that, when you've had a long day in the park, you know that you can get on it. There's very, very rarely a long wait for it. And you just get to sit there and just go past the castle. And if you're lucky, through Space Mountain, that might be broke down. So you might go through with the lights on. That's happened to me a couple of times. Yeah. And I just love it. And it's one of the first attractions that I've ever been on. And it reminds me of being on there with my mum and dad. So, as a lot of things at Walt Disney World, it's the memories that it brings back. So the people mover has my favourite mode of attraction, although it doesn't actually take you anywhere.
Saying that we did it during the Christmas party last time, and because they had the effects on the Christmas music on Space Mountain overlay, you got that as you went through.
That's cool.
Yes.
Yeah. I think there's a really nice time to ride the people mover as well, which is just at twilight when it's the sun, the sun's just setting and the lights in Tomorrowland are coming up, and it's just beautiful. And you can look at all the other people, the minions down below. It's It's quite nice. Not Minions, wrong park. You know what I mean. That's not
They
on
should be
franchise.
if there are Minions in there. Have Disney bought that as well now? Are they buying everything?
Probably.
Next on the list.
For me, as a Queen of Team Wimp, it's probably the nearest I will get to being actually in Space Mountain. So, you know, I'll take that.
One day, Jill. Come on, one day.
Oh no,
Ooh, no.
It's probably the most uncomfortable ride in any Disney park.
Yeah.
Quite often,
It
I feel like I've
will
come out of that with whiplash. I might as well just jump into a washing machine and put it on a spin cycle. That's what it's like being in Space Mountain.
Yeah.
Even though it's been retracked, it's still the most jittery thing I've ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like Matterhorn at Disneyland.
That
It's
looks
kind of
uncomfortable.
Vicious,
Yeah,
isn't it?
really
It's
uncomfortable.
really focus
Vicious.
shaker job.
It's the right
Okay,
way.
next question.
Vicious.
It's chiropractor's dream, I'm sure. Franchise on the way out.
Next question. Favorite table service restaurant?
Favorite table service restaurant is Homecoming. Chef Art Smith's Homecoming at Disney Springs is just my favorite thing. And if there's one thing that I've been craving in the last 10 months that we've not been allowed to go to America, is proper fried chicken. And at first you look at the menu and go, fried chicken, okay, yeah, I can get that, with donuts. But once you're brave, which I was when I had the free dining, when you've got the free dining, you think, okay, I'll try anything. I'm not paying for this. And I had it and I thought, yeah, I get this now. It's just the most tastiest chicken I've ever had. And the donuts just complement it. So Chef Art Smith's at Springs.
Have you done the brunch there yet? I had the brunch
No, I've
booked for our
not.
trip last year, and obviously that didn't happen, but it's on my list to do next time I go, definitely.
No, I've not done the brunch. But I think it's a very similar menu, isn't it? The brunch menu.
I think it's just earlier in the day. So next question is, which resort have you not stayed in, but you want to more than anything else on earth?
I have never stayed in Disney's brand new Riviera resort, which is the DVC resort. And I'll tell you why I really want to stay there. It's because 18 months ago, just before the global pandemic kicked in, we bought DVC at Riviera. So I got points at Riviera that will soon be expiring by the end of this year. And the number of times we've booked and moved it. So Riviera, and it looks beautiful, and it's right on the Skyliner that you can just hop on, and you're at Hollywood Studios or Epcot within 10 minutes.
Topolino looks amazing.
Yeah.
It does,
Yeah, I want to do the breakfast with the
Yeah.
guys, with the painter Mickey and Donald doing his sculpture and ballerina Daisy Duck. So yeah.
Next question. And what's your favourite car park?
Favorite car park? Do you know what? I've never actually driven in America, actually. So I've never really had the experiences of Walt Disney World car parks. But I mean, if I had to choose one,
I'm in the same
Animal
boat.
Kingdom?
Never driven out there either. So yeah.
I do feel like I missed out though, because I've not been on the little tram that takes you from the car park to the entrance to the gate. So any car park, just to do that.
It's a question that everybody goes, what?
Yeah.
There are definite car park preferences.
There are,
Is
yes.
there a particular favourite car park?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I am team lime every time at Disney Springs. And we John, who's one of the other wafflers who's not with us tonight, him and I both agree that both in Epcot and Animal Kingdom car park, you can walk to the entrance quicker than getting the tram. So it's quite,
Right.
you can get a good spot. So I think car parks are underrated somehow.
And some
Well, now
people,
that Magical Express is going, then maybe we'll have to hire a car next time we go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
some people like certain roles in certain areas.
Yeah.
Is it villains or heroes or whatever?
Yeah.
Believe me, we've had some really good answers to that question before.
Okay, slightly more normal question now. Typhoon, blizzard, or volcano bay?
I've only ever been to Blizzard Beach because I can't swim. So water parks are never on my list. So I haven't been to any water parks for years. But I did once burn my feet on the lazy river.
I think we've all done that at times.
Yeah,
It's really
yeah.
rough, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's when you're like, I'm covered, and then like you get off and you realise you've been floating around in a rubber ring for an hour, and the top of your feet are bright red.
Yeah.
We have yet to make it to any of them.
Every time we go, they're closed.
Yeah, well, I tend to go kind of like, well, my birthday's in January, and we got married there in January,
Okay.
so we kind of like go January, February, so that they're never really open, but they're never open.
Yeah,
And if they were, why would you want to go in January?
indeed.
Okay, Galaxy's Edge or Diagon Alley?
Galaxy's Edge.
Ooh.
Star Wars. I'm just a Star Wars fan. Diagon Alley is really good. I mean, the attractions there are brilliant, and obviously I've not been on the new Star Wars attraction yet. But I just love walking around there, and the way it's not just about how it looks. I love the sounds of Galaxy's Edge when you're walking around and you just hear like a spaceship just flying over you. I think that's just brilliant. It's just pure genius.
It's when you walk around the corner and you just have the Falcon right in front of you.
Yeah.
It's
We
just-
went with a friend of mine the last time we went, actually, and she is a massive Star Wars fan. And so she came. We were there for 2 weeks, and she came for the weekend. I hope she's not watching this with her kids, because she didn't tell her kids that she was going. So the dad had the kids for a weekend, and she came out to Walt Disney World, and her kids are, I think, about 9 and 12, and big Star Wars fans.
I love her style.
So
That's
she
impressive.
joined us, and like we said, we're not going to go to Galaxy's Edge until we walked in with you. And obviously she cried, which was the main reason we wanted to walk in with her, just to see the emotion on her face. But obviously we couldn't check in on Facebook either, because
Yeah.
we weren't supposed
Wow.
to.
Just trying to keep it
Sorry,
secret.
Fiona, if you're watching this with your kids.
Got some explaining to do now.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Early morning or late night park visit?
Oh, early morning, and stay till late night. But yeah, definitely early morning. I'm one of these people who, like, I'm awake at 4 or 5 o'clock. I'll stay on English time for as long as I can, and still stay late at night. Go hard or go home.
It's
And I
making
don't
most
go
of the jet
home.
lag on that first day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny
Yeah,
because the British people that we've spoken to have all gone early morning without a chance. No question. Always early morning. All the Americans we talked to were like late night every time. So it's bizarre. I think we just make the most of it, and the fact that
but why
you
would
are
do
awake.
that? You're
I know.
awake. Yeah,
Yeah,
especially
you're awake.
that first
Use it.
week. You're awake.
Yeah.
Use it. Get
Yeah.
in there.
Yep.
Hammer it. My favourite thing used to be first day Magic Kingdom, especially if it was early magic hours. To get in early, used to, again with the free dining plan, have breakfast at Be Our Guest, and then get out of Be Our Guest just before the park opens, and you're pretty much straight on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which
Yeah.
usually opens just before the park opens. Beyond that,
Yeah.
round in the queue
On
for
it
Peter
again.
Pan.
Okay.
Yeah,
As
that
people are
used to be
still
my
walking
favourite
up
trip.
Main Street, and you're
Yeah,
Yeah.
getting their pictures. So that used to be my favourite thing. So you're like, that's pretty much half the park done before it's even open.
Yeah.
Next question. Keep the magic or backstage detail?
Oh. Now I've done the Keys to the Kingdom tour. So I'm going to say Backstage Detail, because I think Backstage Detail is part of the magic. Have you all done the Keys to the Kingdom?
No, I haven't.
I haven't yet.
All right.
Haven't
Jill
done
and
any
Peter,
tours
why
yet.
have you not done it? Why have you not done it?
We haven't been. We've been to WDW twice now, and we've
Right.
not had.
The
And
opportunity.
we wanted to get things done and dusted before we do too much backstage stuff.
Yeah.
I
I
think
think you
next-
need to have been a few times before.
Yeah,
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 I think
So
next
maybe a
time-
couple of more times.
yeah.
But it doesn't ruin the magic. This was the thing.
No.
People
No.
go, why do you want to do that? It's going to... No, it really doesn't. And you kind of
amazing.
think you just want to see the Utilidors, but yeah, you see that, and that's great. But it's just the way that it operates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've
How they
done the
create the
equivalent,
magic.
we've done the equivalent at Disneyland Paris,
Yeah. done
and
the
that
tour.
was really good. So I'm expecting a lot from Keys of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't be
Definitely worth it.
disappointed. It is amazing, Keys to the
Yeah.
Kingdom.
We had it booked
Did you-
for last year.
Oh, and it never happened.
and never happened.
The fate of 2020. That'll
Yeah.
be the quote. We
I
had
know,
it booked for last year.
it was cruise. We'd even contemplated the Wild Africa trek.
Oh, we did that. We've done that as
And
well.
it's like, we thought, okay, because we thought, okay, things are going to change as we got closer to the trip. I thought, okay, is it going to change? What's going to happen? Are we going to have to like quarantine? And then it's like, in the end, it just all got cancelled.
Mm.
Yeah, but Wild Africa Trek's really good. The tours are expensive, but they're all so worth it.
Do you know what? It's another benefit of DVC. just getting 10% or 20%.
I've not had a chance to use it yet, man.
It'll be there for next
very
time.
expensive backpack is all I've got to show for it.
You're going to smash that discount when you do get there, though.
No, you are. Yeah.
Oh, can't wait.
Definitely.
I can't even buy an annual pass.
We've made so much use of the DVC discount. We joined in 2016 and we bought into Saratoga Springs. We've not yet stayed there. We've stayed like lots of other places apart from there. So
yeah, but hopefully maybe at the end of this year we'll get that first welcome home visit, as they call it.
Yeah.
Saratoga Springs is worth staying. It really is really close to Disney Springs.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
we wanted to stay there once the refurb had happened, just because we looked at that style of the rooms. I thought they looked a bit outdated compared to like Bay Lake Tower where we've stayed and Boardwalk. So we thought, let's go try elsewhere. And now the rooms are refurbished. So
They're much bigger rooms as well, there, aren't they?
yeah, we had Riviera booked last year for August and in November and in April. So it's like whatever happens when we get to our 7 months for the next one, I'm hoping to book Riviera again because I want to stay there.
We keep booking the Tower Suites.
The
cheapest points. There's literally it's just a room with a pull-down bed.
Yeah.
But now we're going to be left with so many points. We're kind of like a 3-bedroom mansion probably by the time we eventually go.
Yeah, I think we've got enough for possibly a 1-bedroom for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
That'd be good.
quite nice.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Right, next question. Favorite other podcasters or vloggers about Disney?
You guys, obviously. I've got to say that.
Yeah,
Right
well
answer.
done.
And in terms of vlogger, I spent a lot of time getting my Disney fix now. Disney Food Blog, I think, is brilliant.
Yep.
AJ is great. She knows her stuff. And even now, it's like a Disney food vlog, but she still managed to pad it out with other stuff as well.
Yeah.
Braden's really good. Mickey Views. He seems to know his stuff. A guy who's 20, 21. There's an Imagineer inside there in his head. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
Tim Tracker, obviously. And then Adam Hatton and Gary, who are great. So we had Gary on the podcast this week. They're really good. You get a different perspective as well from when you've got a British one and an American one. The guys at the Diz, I think, do great stuff. That's very different. That's not so vloggy. They're like more running a TV network, really, that focuses on Disney. So I've spent a lot of time on YouTube over the last year, just getting my fix.
Inhaling Disney somehow virtually.
You start looking for it, I think, even more now. When the Festival of the Arts is on, going, okay, what am I missing? How can I get feel like I'm there? Now, obviously, the first time I ever went to Walt Disney World, which was 21 years ago this week, actually, there was no such thing as, was there a YouTube back 20 years ago? And like, first time we went, we didn't know. I didn't know what to expect. We had that VHS through the letterbox.
People had those great big video cameras that you wheelbarrow to carry round.
Everything's just a big surprise. But now, although I still haven't, I'm purposely staying away from Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Train. I've not seen any vlogs of that. And if I am watching any and it comes on, I'm like, fast forward. I'm still trying.
Rise of Resistance. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I couldn't hold back.
It's so difficult. Yeah.
But
see, I'm split. Becca, my wife, she doesn't want to see any of the videos of anything, and it'd be a surprise when we go there. Where I want to see the workings of everything, just to see what it's like, and then I'll get the experience when I'm there as well.
Yeah, but I'm set.
By the time I've gone there, I hope you might have forgotten.
Yeah, I just kind of want to keep that surprise because there's no better time than your first time because you don't really know. When I took my husband for the first time, he didn't really want to go, and he was like, "Okay, I get it now. I get why
now I
this is so
understand."
good." Yeah.
Could have gone the other way.
He was so not interested that he didn't watch any vlogs or anything like that, so he wasn't really bothered. So it kind of like the whole thing was a big surprise for him. Because the second best thing after your first visit is taking somebody for their first visit. If they like it.
Yeah, so it could go the other way.
Yeah, but I think it only goes the other way if you don't plan. You know, I hate it when I speak to families that, well, I'm not now because there's no dining plan and there's no fast passes, but people who just rock up and go, yeah, it's queue through at 3 hours for Flight of Passage. Wow.
I've got the best story for that. We went to Disneyland Paris one time and I got chatting to a guy from near where I used to live in South Wales because I heard the accent and got chatting. And we got into a conversation and he confessed that he was rather confused about the app, that his friend had told him, you've got to download this app. It'll show you where everything is. So he downloaded it, but he couldn't find things. And he said, can you show me, you know, on the app what it is? And I had a look and he downloaded the WDW app.
Yeah, they're not in the same, stuff is not in the same place.
This was like the second day of his trip. And I thought, when is he going to realize that there's only 2 parks and there don't seem to be any water parks? And
yeah.
Big Thunder's in a different place.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's better. So there you are.
Yeah,
That's true. It's all quite hard to miss.
Yeah.
Yes, we took a family who are friends of ours to Disneyland Paris. We've been countless times, and we've been took these friends of ours, and just watching the look on their faces is amazing.
Yeah.
Just seeing how they're enjoying it is fantastic.
Yeah, love it.
We planned a trip with 9 people, which was interesting when it's family that only me and Becca were the ones that had been before.
Brave.
So it was interesting, and all of them went as soon as they come back home. They're gone, I need to book my next trip.
Yeah.
And it was we had a plan. We had a rough sort of framework and fast passes and everything. Because I'm a planner, I think most of us are. It's 180 days. You book your ADRs and everything, and it's like we all had the same sort of rough plan. And everyone sort of had the app, and they could change what they want. And by the end of it, everyone's gone, I just want to stay out here and come back.
Yeah. I've even planned for people who, you know, who I'm not going with. They'll go, oh, can you just start me off on this? What should I do?
Yeah.
And like, well, you get off the plane and you check in, and then you go straight to the park that's open. Usually go and watch Fantasmic because that keeps you awake sitting outdoors at night.
And those seats are uncomfortable.
Do you enjoy planning for other people? Do you enjoy
as long as they listen. Yeah. As long as,
do what they're told,
people,
and then it's fine.
People who've not been before, people who've been before. No, there's no excuse. You can do it yourself. But you know, people, it's quite nice to help them because you want them to have a good time. You don't want them to go and not have a great time.
I think that's exactly it. So I had friends of friends contact me via Facebook and Messenger and stuff, say, oh, I was talking to so-and-so and they said you're the person to ask about, I'm going to Orlando. This was like 2-3 years ago. It actually ended up me writing a blog because I was so fed up rewriting the same information over and over. The quickest thing, I'll just start. Yeah, exactly. And I kept like an email folder of all the information that I'd given people. I could just cut and paste it and send it to the next person. So I ended up just doing a blog, and then it's just, I really enjoyed being able to say to people, actually, do you know what? If it's raining in a certain area, you can go this way, you can do that, you can cut out this corner, don't go here at that time of day. And it's quite fun to be able to give people those bits of information that you've learned and you've learned from other people as well. So you sort of come away thinking, hopefully they're going to have a nice holiday because of the information that I've given them, whether I'm there to enjoying it with them or not. But I've had a few people come back to me and say, actually, thank you so much for that, because now we know not to use our dining service snack credits on a bottle of water and to get things like that, though. It's just things that drive me mad. Don't do that. Whatever you do, just don't do that. Get a free cup of water.
So, Claire, that will be the first Wafflers book then, I imagine.
There are people far more eloquent than me who have written books about that. In fact, if you go to Amazon, there are millions of them. So, there's people who've written how to get freebies at Disney. Yeah, not me. Don't need me to do it. I think
all the publishers now are going to have to kind of like be on standby because everything's changed so much since last time. And it's probably going to change again. You know, are they going to go back to Fast Pass? Will it be Max Pass, or who knows?
I think they'll do a virtual queue sort of hybrid sort of thing. I don't know whether because I think the boarding pass works well, and I think they're going to use it Ratatouille more to manage the amount of people that are going to be in the sort of land as well.
Yeah,
because that's going to be the difficult thing. Is it doesn't matter how many people. No.
It does
So-
make me wonder though, because there are so few perks now, and especially next year when you've got no Magical Express, no magic hour, well, half an hour, but that's not give or take. I wonder whether the one perk they've got in their pocket for people staying on property is fast passes. So will fast passes just become a thing, or free fast passes become a thing for people who are just staying on property? Is that a kind of like a free way of, a cost-effective way of them get people to stay at their
Because they've
hotel?
gradually just taken everything off. Sort of, there's no dining plan. You can't even buy it now, and that's the thing. There's just so much stuff that has been reduced, but the prices haven't changed.
Yeah.
It looks
I
like
wonder-
we still get our decent tickets.
Yeah,
Our
the Ultimates are still
still
a bargain.
Still a bargain so far, but
£460 for 14 days.
Yeah, the Americans hate that because they can't have that ticket.
They can't have it, but it's still really expensive.
But
last year we looked at it was £379.
Yeah, but Magic My Way is a lot more expensive than our ticket.
Yeah,
it's true.
You get Memory Maker as well. You get park hopping.
Yeah, if you think what you get, if you do cost per day.
Yeah,
I can't do it now because I'm not Carol Vorderman, but it's you're talking what, 25 quid a day or something like that. Does it work out? If you're there for the full 2 weeks, obviously. I know they say you get in the Memory Maker as well,
and throw in the mini golf and water parks. And
the water parks.
Actually.
Yeah, because they're reopening in March, or at least one of them's going to reopen in March.
Okay, cool.
So,
right, we are on to the final question of this supposedly quick fire round.
It's not very quick, has it? Sorry,
it always ends up like always ends up like this.
On-site or off-site?
On-site, always on-site. We used to, the first few times I went, we've stayed. We could afford, so we stayed in International Drive. We looked for the hotels that had the free shuttle buses, and we used to do it really cheap. And it wasn't until the first time we stayed at Caribbean Beach, which is about 6 or 7 years ago, that I realised, the perks of staying on site. Although I say, back then we had the free dining plan, and the transportation. We didn't. The first week we went, we spent $1 on a bottle of water from somewhere. We went through the entire week because you got the $200 credit
gift card,
the gift card. I was like, it's more expensive, but when you add everything up and it's all paid for, definitely on site.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't like driving in America, so it's I don't have a favourite car park.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've changed our plans for driving because we've not yet driven out there, but because of COVID, we thought it's probably going to be a safer option next time we go if we're not on transportation, especially if there's no Magical Express from next year.
Yeah,
it's sort of in a way we're being forced, and lucky DVC we don't have to pay the nightly sort of charge for parking.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, that was very good. Yeah, very interesting. So now I'm going to open the floor up to the wafflers. Who wants to ask a question first? I'll go with Claire.
Oh, ladies first. Thank you very much, Peter. So, Andy, can you tell us a little bit about you mentioned your first trip. Is that when you decided Disney was for you, or does your history with Disney go back further than that?
My history with Disney World, I mean, Disney's always been a part of my life, and I think Disney's been a part of everybody's life. We could all remember watching Mary Poppins. It was probably released before we were born, but all these films have always been part, especially growing up. But I always remember it was my mum saying, "Oh, one day we'll go to Walt Disney World," and it was like this magical, mystical place that we just wanted to go to, and we didn't really know what was there when we went. But I remember watching an episode of Treasure Hunt in mid-80s, and it was
Stop the clock,
ban the clock, and it was in Florida. And
oh wow,
I think it's on YouTube if you find it. And Annika Rice stopped at, I think it was Epcot. I don't think she went to Magic Kingdom, she went to Epcot. And I was like, I just want to go to this place, but we couldn't afford it because it's expensive now. And back in the 90s, when I was growing up, when it first opened, it was just, especially from the UK, it was too expensive. So I was a young adult the first time we went. I went with my mum and dad, and kind of we'd saved up, and we got some money given to our family, and we're like, should we what do you think? Should we go to Florida? So we looked into it, and it was actually a 3-week tour that we did. Cosmos did a coach tour called Sunshine Florida or something like that. So you flew into Orlando and you got on this coach, and we went all around the coast. So from the top part, where did we stop off first? Was, I can't think, St. Augustine, I think it's called, which is one of the oldest towns in Florida. So we started there, and the coach took us all the way down through Miami. We had a day in Miami, all down the Florida Keys, a couple of nights in Key West. Then we came back through the Everglades and Saratoga, I think, somewhere like that. And then we had 5 days in Orlando at the end of it. 5 days. So we got to go to Walt Disney World. But we didn't really know. We knew the Magic Kingdom, we knew Epcot and Universal and SeaWorld. So with the 5 days, we did those. So we did Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood, MGM Studios, as it was called then, Universal and SeaWorld. And we didn't go to Animal Kingdom, which I think was open in 2000. It was in January of 2000. We didn't go. I don't think we even knew it was there. And it was still the old paper fast passes. So that first few days in Florida, and we went, I'm glad we're only here for a few days because we've got an excuse to come back. So then it was kind of like every other year we'd save and we'd go back and we'd go with different family members. But we used to kind of like stay on International Drive. So that's kind of where we went. We never really stayed on site. So it wasn't until I met my now husband 6-7 years ago that I think I really want to go back to Walt Disney World. Why do you want to buy this Walt Disney World? I don't like roller coasters. I don't like heights. I'm not going to like it. And we've been on a really rubbish holiday to Egypt. We had a week in Egypt. So our next holiday, I'm choosing where we're going. Let's go. Okay. So we went to the Virgin shop. Went, this is what you can do. You can go stay at Caribbean Beach and you get the free dining, this, that, and the other. So for me, that was like the first time going again because I'd never stayed on property. We had the memory maker for the first time. So we'd never really done character greets. Character greets were never a thing. But I remember the first morning we went and we met Chewbacca just because there was no queue. Should we go and get Chewbacca and have a photograph? So we've got this photograph thing. And I wasn't aware that he was going to be speaking. And from that moment, I was like, right, I want to meet all the characters. I want Pokemon. I want to collect them all. And so my husband slowly has kind of like got into it. We've been about 4 or 5 times now. And we got married there 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Fantastic. That's amazing.
That's my history of Walt Disney World.
So how did that progress into having a podcast?
Well, I work in radio and I've always fancied doing a podcast. And I'm thinking, well, what's the one thing that I love talking about is Walt Disney World. And as you mentioned before, Claire, when you said you talk to friends and you plan things, it's kind of like doing that. So I played around with a few ideas and I'm thinking, well, there's a lot of podcasts that maybe you'll come on, you'll do the Disney news and we'll give a few tips and then that's it. And I thought about, do you know what? The people who love Walt Disney World love talking about Walt Disney World. And everybody has got their own story. Everybody's got a first time. Everybody's got a favorite memory. Everybody's got a favorite attraction. Nobody has. I've been doing it for like 18 months now, and I've never had the same podcast twice. Everybody's got something that they love about Walt Disney World. So I thought, let's just have every other week, get somebody on. They don't have to be famous or a vlogger or anything. Somebody who loves Walt Disney World, come on, I will chat about it. And we've uncovered some like crazy stories. There's one guy who had an appendicitis on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Somebody else who did one of the Run Disney events and ended up in hospital for the night at Celebration. I've spoken to people who've had honeymoons there, people who've taken babies who were 4 months old, and it's just great. But like I was saying, people who love Walt Disney World love talking about Walt Disney World. So the job's kind of done for me, really. Just start it rolling and off you go.
I think that's how we started. It was like we'd all listen to the Dibcast, and it sort of come to an end, and we just thought, I don't know, there was a bit of a space, and we thought let's give it a go, and we just like talking, and that's how it all began. Yeah,
it's like tonight we've just been like, you could just once you start and it goes from one subject to another. It's like I said, we've got Gary C, who's on the latest podcast, and he was really nervous. He kind of like wanted to do it, but he was very nervous about doing it. And at the end, he said, "Do you know what? This has been so easy because, like I say, I found my tribe. Find your tribe."
Yeah.
That's such a good way
If
of
we were at
putting it,
school, we'd all be on the same table,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
with our Mickey and Minnie Mouse packed lunch boxes, chatting
Yeah.
about Walt Disney World. So wherever you
Fit
are
the-
in the world, it's something that can bring you together.
Yeah.
Okay, Ben, do you have a question?
Yeah,
Right.
from all your podcasts that you've done, have you got a memorable moment from a guest?
I think the lady who did the Run Disney event, that was quite unexpected. I thought she was going to come on and talk about, running backstage at Epcot. I wasn't expecting her to be in hospital. So yeah, she was good, but
I think that's put me off doing Run Disney now.
yeah. She was doing the Goofy Challenge, which was
Oh,
like the 5K.
Oh.
Was it like a fun run, the 5K, the 10K, the
Yeah.
half marathon, the full marathon?
Yeah,
She'd been for something to eat that she said didn't feel quite right. So it wasn't that she wasn't up for running. It was, I think she got a little bit dehydrated after something she ate the night before and ended up into celebration in the hospital.
Ouch.
And apparently,
That's
as soon as they get your travel insurance come through, signed off, they kick you straight out. Okay, thanks, bye.
yeah. I still don't
Nice.
understand appendicitis on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train though.
Yeah, well, he got in the queue and he was just having these pains. Did Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and then was really doubled up in pain off the back of it. So I went to the emergency room, the first aid room. I think they called a doctor and then an ambulance. So he went to the hospital, had his appendix removed, and it was the day after or 2 days after he was back in Magic Kingdom.
Awesome.
In a wheelchair for one
Wow.
day and then
That's hardcore, isn't it? That's
Back
a
on
lot
it.
of Disney
Hey,
fans.
but if you spent that much money and you've gone that far, nothing.
Yeah.
I have to
nothing
admit, I had my appendix out 3 weeks before our trip in 2018, and it was a bit touch and go whether we go or not. At
Yeah.
one point, and it was like, do you know what? We paid this amount of money, we're going, and it was like
Yeah.
the first ride we got on was Flight of Passage,
Oh,
and it's
right.
just like where it holds you, and it's like maybe this was
Pushing
about
you
it. Yeah, but no, it was good.
So I think the advice I would give is that I'll go have a look what rides you can go on if you're a pregnant woman. Go,
Yeah.
okay, the pregnant woman can go on it. It's probably safe.
You can go in Small World.
Yeah, Small World is fine.
Go on. You're fine.
Okay, Jill.
Yeah. I've got an interesting question, or what I hope will be an interesting question. After some of our recent shows, we've also asked our guests to imagine that they are hosting a dinner party.
Okay.
So you have one guest of honor already assigned their seat, and that is Mr. Walt Disney.
Mhm.
You can invite 5 others to the meal to enjoy it. And those guests can be any characters within the parks, within films, so any Disney franchise, so MCU, Star Wars, Pixar, they're all included. Any cast member or any Disney personnel or employee, dead or alive. So
Ooh.
pretty wide range.
How many have I got?
5.
5, including Walt, or Walt
No.
plus 5.
No.
5 as well.
Okay,
Another 5.
Right.
So who might you like to invite?
I'd like to invite Joe Rody, who's just retired.
Yeah.
So, the man, the genius behind Animal Kingdom and Alani and places like that. And I think having him and Walt on the same table,
That'd be
because I think
amazing.
they've got very similar minds, that would be a great conversation. I'd probably just sit back and just listen in on that. So Joe Rody would be there. I'd have to probably invite Donald and Daisy Duck, because I just love Donald and Daisy Duck. I've had many interesting conversations with them, character buffets that people laugh at me about when I get home. When I say I've been chatting to Donald and Daisy about this, they go, "How can you? They don't speak." I go, "Well, you can communicate with them."
You
And I do.
absolutely can.
Yeah.
Andy, can I ask you a question, Andy? Because we had a live show last week where we did our Disney confessions, and my Disney confession might have been that I prefer Donald to Mickey. Are you in a similar position to me, or are you?
Yeah, I can see he is number one duck. So there's
He's
a
so
reason.
much fun.
Yeah, it's so much fun, and I think he gets such a hard time. Like on all the merchandise, he always comes across as grumpy. I mean, are you surprised he's always angry and grumpy when he gets picked on all the time?
He's also a terrible flirt.
He is a terrible flirt, but so is Daisy.
Yeah.
I remember having a conversation with Daisy. Yes, as I say, I have conversations with them about how she wanted an engagement ring for the diamond the size of Spaceship
Yes.
Earth. Yeah, so I have that conversation. I don't know how we got into that conversation.
we met her when she was doing the fortune telling thing in Pete's Silly Sideshow.
Yeah.
She's Daisy Fortuna, and we said, "Can you look in your crystal ball and tell us if Donald is going to make an honest duck of you?" And she did the single ladies thing.
Oh, dear.
Put a ring on it, yeah.
And Donald was over the other side. She made sure he saw it.
I love it.
Yeah. She just doesn't want to commit. I love having
She's
fun with
so
the characters.
sassy.
And I think the characters love it as well.
Yeah.
Some people who just go and get an autograph and a photograph, go, you don't get the
That's
best
no
of it.
fun.
No.
That's
Yeah,
no fun.
try and engage with the conversation. There's nothing better than seeing Donald Duck when you've got a big Mickey Mouse t-shirt on.
Yeah.
Oh,
You don't like that.
I had a conversation with him at I think we were at Cape May Cafe for breakfast one morning. We went there on our way to Hollywood Studios, and you know how in the hotels they give out the stickers with Mickey head on, for kids. And my daughter was there, and she had like the Mickey sticker on because we'd gone there for breakfast. And I asked Donald why they don't give stickers with Donald on. Why do they only give Mickey stickers out? And he's like, yeah, exactly. Why not? This is ridiculous. He went off to find the manager to tell them otherwise. You know, it was so funny because that's how I'm going to get some made next time I go with Donald on, because I'd rather have.
He deserves it after 80 odd years. I went to the I can't remember the character buffet in California at one of the hotels. I can't think what it's called. I think the character buffet is Donald.
Goofy's Kitchen, or
Not Goofy's Kitchen.
So it's the one that's in the Grand
California.
No.
No.
Okay.
There's only a few hotels in California.
Pixar. There'll be people shouting at the podcast.
I think it's called Donald's Surfside Breakfast or something like that.
Right.
Okay.
In the hotel. But I had a Donald Duck t-shirt on, and they brought me as a surprise a Donald Duck waffle.
Wow, amazing!
It's only for true Donald fans.
I suggested we change the name of our podcast last week, and I was shocked.
To Donald
The
Waffle.
Great British Donald Waffle.
Yeah. I've got more guests.
You got another two. You got another two to go.
Okay. Grogu's come in, Baby Yoda, I think, because he's just cute, isn't he?
Yeah.
The cute factor. And who else will I invite? Oh, this is tricky. Would I invite the big cheese himself, Mickey Mouse? I think I might have to invite Mickey. Although he might take over, might he, if he comes?
It would be nice to see Walt with Mickey, though.
Yeah, that would be quite cute, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to invite Mickey.
Yeah.
Cool.
Have to have people who we've spoken to before. We've even had people say Bob Chapek, which would have been interesting having him with Walt.
Yeah, he wouldn't put
Like-
the bill, would he? Especially if you're having dinner at a Disney restaurant and you got charged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Actually,
Paul
Bob
Rudd-
Iger would be good.
Yeah.
Bob Iger would be good. Have you read his book?
Yes.
Such a good book. Yeah. So
It's
sorry,
amazing.
Mickey. I've changed my mind. Mickey,
We're out.
you're back on the bench.
I think that's
I think
there's
we've
so many.
Yeah,
You
we've
can
had some
choose
really
from.
interesting answers, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mary
I-
Blair.
Kevin
Uh,
Feige.
Yeah, Kevin Feige. Who did I had Lee Cockrell on my list. He's just blows my mind in terms of Disney leadership. So
Yeah.
lots of really interesting people to choose from, and when you can choose dead or alive, it's quite fun.
But not as fun as Donald and Daisy.
Nobody is.
I think poor Roy gets not enough love. I think.
Mhm.
Yes.
True.
Yeah. Roy needs
Yeah.
more love.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the financial genius behind it.
Mhm.
Of course, yeah, you forget that. Because you
Yeah.
just think of Walt Disney, but actually it was the two brothers.
Mm.
Well, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Now, bearing in mind the situation in the world at the moment,
Yeah.
what is next for you and your podcasts?
Well, we're still going to keep chatting about Walt Disney World because it's the only way we're going to spread the joy at the minute. So yeah, we used to have regular weekly podcasts. We put that down to every other week now, just because, it's coming up to a year since people from the UK have actually been.
Mm.
So you kind of like start running out of things to talk about, and it'd be quite nice just to be able to speak to somebody who's been. So we'll keep going every other week. Got plenty of people lined up. I'm sure you guys can join me. I'd love
Yeah,
to get you
sure.
all on.
Yeah, we'd love to.
Individually, we'll catch up and have some one-on-one chatting. So pencil, get your diaries out. So yeah, well, I'm going to keep going every other week. More guests
Brilliant.
still to come, and who knows?
Who knows? Well, thank you for putting up with the wafflers. You've been a really great guest, I have to say.
Yeah.
And just before you go, remind us where our listeners can find you.
On the socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we are at Pod Magical, is where we are, and the most magical podcast on earth, wherever you get your podcast from, is where you can find me. Not on YouTube, so you're very lucky that I'm like showing my face.
That, do you know what? It was a real departure for us to decide to do things in video. It was hard work.
But isn't it great seeing each other?
Yeah.
Especially at a minute. I never see anybody.
Yeah,
We
we
always
always
started
recorded
like
in video, but it's because but we didn't actually put the videos up. But now we found that actually some of our, because people aren't, when you listen to a podcast often, you know, I'm still going to work. I listen in the car and I listen, you know, people used to listen in the gym and things like that. Actually, they're not necessarily doing as much of that because there's not so much travel and commuting. So we found that actually YouTube has been quite helpful. Just like we were saying earlier, actually, we're all living vicariously through, you know, the people who can actually go. So YouTube's been a bit of an interesting departure for us. But it's we're learning.
Yeah.
That's
See,
the thing, you learn and develop.
I put podcasts on at night now because, like you say, I used to have it on in the gym, not going there anymore, or driving. But now it's like when I go to bed, put a podcast on, half an hour time, it will come off, and I'll fall asleep within 10 minutes. And go, have I heard
Who
this?
is it that you listen to fall asleep?
My own.
I don't know how you keep your podcast so short. We can't.
I think there are 8 of us. I think that's what.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah, the latest one was 40 minutes, which was the longest one, but that's because I've not done a podcast for about a month. So we had a lot of stuff to talk about with Magical Express and stuff. Plus, we had Gary on, so try and keep it about half an hour.
They're very consumer. I have to say, I mean, I've been listening to it, and it's very consumable. It's really easy to listen to, and in terms of, you know, if someone had never been before, there is so much useful information that you could, you know, you can pick it up, put it down. It's a bit, you know, I was going to say, it sounds really, it's meant to be rude, Andy. It's a bit like the magazine in the downstairs loo. You can pick it up and enjoy a bit.
That's what we were going for. That's why we
You
kind
can
of like.
You can have that as your strap line if you want.
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking of when you're like, sort of, we're going to do a podcast, we've got to sort of, how we're going to do this? And it's like, sort of be like a magazine in downstairs loo.
In the downstairs.
Sorry.
Or a dentist.
Or a dentist, or a doctor's. Or...
Yeah. So you can pick up a bit, you can listen to it for, 10 minutes, and you put it down and pick it up again. And if you get interrupted, it doesn't matter. And I've really, really enjoyed listening to them and all the different people you've had on. I think they've been, they've all brought something slightly different. So
fab. Yeah, it's like everybody's got their own story, but like he was saying, it's the people that I work with who do the podcast, Joe and Paul, who do secretly record my boyfriend and things like that. They say, when you do this, because Joe had been, Paul hadn't been, wanted to go. So they both listened to the first one, and it's like, well, you need to talk to the people who know about Walt Disney World and have been. We also need to talk to people who are thinking of going and have never been. So, you know, if you're talking about the Magical Express, you kind of need to say what it is. You know, just remember. And also, you know, every episode you've probably got somebody who's listening for the first time, so they don't know you, and they might have missed episode 2 or whatever.
And then every Disney person speaks in acronyms as well.
Yeah,
I know. I found that especially with DDC when I'm going, what are they talking about?
BLT always throws me.
Yeah,
BLT.
It's actually quicker just to say it because the time it's taking me
Tower.
to go and find out where it is and what it is.
Thank you for listening, everybody. And remember, you can find the Great British Mickey Waffle on all your favourite podcast sites, as well as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And don't forget our website, themickeywaffle.com. There's only one thing left to say, which is Waffle On!